Welcome to Confessions of a Workaholic, where we share the untold success secrets of fearless female entrepreneurs who are obsessed with success. This is your girl, Koereyelle, excited as ever to be here with you all for episode 48, another one of my infamous solo episodes. Now, if you are tuned in on YouTube or if you are catching one of my replay videos at the Confessions Podcast on Instagram, then y'all know that I am rocking my new do. Yes, I am Coachella ready, getting my boho chic look on. I don't know if y'all been paying attention or not, but me and my hair, we've been experimenting, we've been transitioning. I'm really trying to wean myself off of the creamy crack. Now, this is not the first time I have attempted to go 100% natural, but I'm determined that this is going to be the last time that I'm really going to stick to it. So I have been rocking the quick weaves. I have been experimenting with wigs. Shout out to Megan at Get Glammed Hair for making me the best wig I've ever had. Super excited about it because I am not a wiggy, okay? And I was really nervous. I was scared, like, what if it falls off? What if it's not on tight? What if it's not? What if it don't look right? What if that part is looking a little crazy? Y'all know how those parts be looking a little crazy sometimes. So I was really nervous, but my girl Megan hooked me up. And the reason that I decided that I wanted to mention that is because I want to pub Megan and promote her and her business as much as I possibly can. So Megan and I actually go way back to 2003 at Tennessee State University in Wilson Hall, freshman dorm. Both of us was getting our hustle on, okay? And that's how we ended up getting connected. I was actually doing nails, doing acrylics, had the whole dorm smelling like acrylic, and they're doing pedicures. I still can't believe that I was doing pedicures, but I was all about that dollar bill. And Megan was down on the second floor doing weaves, doing, micro braids. Everybody was rocking micro braids back then. And to still be connected with her, to be able to watch her evolve as a businesswoman and as a boss, I'm super excited. And we need to support one another more, right? So definitely make sure you check her out at Megan_Monroe. Her hair brand is at Get Glammed Hair. So definitely make sure you support my fellow Tennessee State University Tiger. The other thing that I wanted to let you all know, in case you are not following me on Instagram, I announced a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, that I am back in the coaching game. Now, I quit coaching. I'm not new to this coaching thing, but I'm also not true to this coaching thing either, because I will quit. You know, I ended up quitting, walking away in 2016 because I was being bombarded by people who had gotten so much bad advice that it really turned me off to the whole coaching thing. I felt like I had to clean up the mess that all of these other so-called coaches had made, that I decided to just throw in the towel. It wasn't worth my time. I gave up, closed my doors. But in 2018, after all of the inquiries, all the emails and DMs, I decided, okay, I'm going to give it another shot. But I'm being very, very specific with who I work with. And so if you are interested in finding out how we can work together one-on-one, you can definitely click the link in my Instagram bio or go to majorkeymentoring.com to find out about my Get Money Gang and my one-on-one coaching. My goal is to help as many women as possible get wealthy without doing all that work. I am really, truly passionate about creating passive income. And now that I have mastered it in my own business, my goal is to help other business owners add passive revenue models to their current business stream, to their current business model. So definitely make sure that you get in where you fit in if you are interested in adding passive income streams to your business model. If you are interested in stop talking about it and, being about it in 2018. The other thing that I have to let y'all know is that VIP passes for Workplace Slay are almost sold out. If you haven't heard about Workplace Slay Weekend, I promise you, you don't want to miss it. You cannot afford to miss it. If you are really ready to stop talking about it and start being about it, if you are really ready to start taking action towards your dreams, then Work, Pray, Slay is where you need to be this November 1st through 4th. The biggest and best women's weekend is returning to ATL. And like I said, we are almost completely sold out of VIP passes, and passes have only been on sale less than 30 days. So if you want to attend the entire conference VIP style, definitely make sure you log on to workprayslay.com for those passes. If you have a business that you'd like to bring to Work, Pray, Slay as a vendor, you definitely want to make sure you get in where you fit in with that vendor application as well, because vendor spots are almost gone and they are definitely going to sell out. So workprayslay.com. While you are there, don't just check out the VIP passes and don't just check out the vendor application. Lay your eyes on the Platinum Pass option, because this is the very first time that we are offering this Platinum Pass, and I'm super excited about it because it's going to allow you to get up close and personal with me. You don't have to wait until November to start putting in this work, right? So you and I are going to have a strategic planning session where I'm going to help you get your money right and get your business together way before you get here for Work, Pray, Slay weekend. During Work, Pray, Slay weekend, we are going to have a 4-hour income creation intensive on Thursday, November 1st, where me and a few of my special invited guests are going to help you really set a solid foundation for your business. We're talking about systems so that you can automate the infrastructure of your business. We're talking about funnels so that you can turn your followers into funds. We're talking about monetization so you can figure out how to market and monetize your magic. So definitely check out that Platinum Pass option if you are a real boss and you want to get your business together. All of those details are available at workprayslay.com. Now, over the weekend, well, actually last Thursday and Friday, my dream team and I had the pleasure of attending the Art of Articulation event hosted by my boy David Shands, who is the creator of the Sleep is for Suckers brand. Now, Sleep is for Suckers is not just a t-shirt line. He does so much work in our community. He does so much work in our schools with our kids. And he is putting in work for entrepreneurs and aspiring speakers as well. So at his Art of Articulation conference, it was a 2-day conference where he really poured into entrepreneurs who want to monetize their message. So he gave us major keys on how to craft your brand story, how to really understand your signature message so that you can sell yourself in these speaking engagements, so that you can sell yourself from the stage. He is presenting another 2-day conference. So definitely make sure that you stay connected with him on Instagram. He is at Sleep for Suckers. But while I was there, although I learned a whole lot and I really had, a lot of aha moments with how I can perfect my craft, how I can get a little bit better, within my own craft and my own speaking. I learned a lot about speaking, but the one thing that I really, really walked away like, damn, he's right, from was this moment. So David co-hosted the event with this guy at Life Speaks Life. He's a motivator. He is, his voice will just put you in check, just the sound of his voice. He definitely had our attention the entire time. And he's good at what he does. Obviously, if he is presenting at a conference to teach other speakers how to speak, he's pretty good at catching your attention, right? But one of the things that he was talking about was how so many people have all of these ideas, but so little execution. And you really can't cash your ideas. He said, I've never seen anybody cash a try check. Nobody cares about what you've been trying to do. You don't get credit for your ideas. You only get credit for what you execute. And so that is our inspiration for this week's Get Your Mind Right moment, which is you cannot cash your ideas. Your ideas don't equal income until you start taking action. All right? Nobody cares that you've had a bad day. Nobody cares that you've had a hard life. Nobody cares, that you saw this or you heard that as a child and you dealt with this and you have this issue and you are so woe is me. Nobody cares about that. Nobody is coming to your pity party. And you are absolutely not going to ever see the fruits of your labor until you start actually sowing those seeds, right? Until you start actually putting in that work. Not just talking about the things that you're going to do, not just talking about the things that you like to do, not just talking about the ideas that you have, actually bringing those ideas to life, right? Because things come up every single day. Obstacles come up every single day that can get in your way and stop you from succeeding. But it is up to you. You have the power to decide whether or not you are going to execute or whether or not you're going to make a bunch of excuses. And so this week, I want to encourage you to really start turning those ideas into income by taking action. Right? By not just talking about all of your goals, talking about your hopes and your wishes and the things that you've been praying about. What have you been preparing for? Because you don't get what you pray for, you get what you prepare for. So instead of just telling us about what you're praying for, talk about what you're preparing for. Talk about the work that you've put in. Talk about what you're actually getting ready for. Talk about what you are actually doing and not just what you're dreaming about. All right, so this week's Get Your Mind Right moment, inspired by David Shands and his Art of Articulation conference. You can't cash your ideas, and I've never seen anybody cash a try check. Trying will get you nowhere. Trying doesn't exist. That isn't even real, right? You either are or you're not. You're doing it or you're not. You're here or you're not. You show up or you don't. There's no such thing as trying. There's no such thing, all right? Now, episode 48 is entitled, You Can't Boss Up with Bums. And I got to tell y'all a little backstory. I got to tell y'all the Instagram inspiration for this week's episode. So literally almost a year ago to the day, almost 2 years ago to the day that I'm recording this episode of Confessions, I was in the middle of a business deal with my bae. And that business deal went sideways real fast. We ended up breaking up. And because we broke up, he decided to swindle me out of almost $20,000. And yes, you heard that right. 20,000 as in 20,000, not 200, not 2,000, but $20,000. Somebody that I thought loved me, somebody that I loved, somebody that I was, literally spending day in and day out with, somebody who I trusted like nobody else, literally took advantage of me, right? Took advantage of his position in my life and walked away with $20,000. So it was 17 and some change, but I'm just rounding it up because, hell, I deserve to round it up at this point. All right, it hurt that bad, I can round it up. And literally at the time, all I could do for probably the first hour was just cry. Like all I could do was cry. I was so hurt. My feelings were hurt. I was shocked. Like when I realized what he had done, it literally took the wind out of my body. Have you ever experienced that when it's like you are speechless, you're at a loss for words, you just can't believe it, you don't know what to do, you just don't know, right? And I went through that for probably an hour. And at the end of that hour, I started laughing like a crazy person, actually, is what happened. But I was laughing, I guess, to keep from crying some more, right? But what I was really laughing about was the fact that this guy thought that him doing this to me, him taking this money, was going to break me down. He thought that him making me quote unquote broke, which I wasn't broke, but he thought that him making me broke was going to break me down. And so all I could do was laugh at the fact that I knew this wasn't the end all be all. All I could do was laugh at the fact that I knew I was going to get my money back. All I could do was laugh at the fact that somebody thought that they could take me out and steal my joy for $20,000. Now, $20,000 is a little check, right? $20,000 ain't no chump change. But if you think that my joy, my peace, my happiness is worth $20,000, that brought me to laughter, right? All I could do was crack up laughing. And when I stopped laughing hysterically like a crazy person, I decided, you know what, you can cry a little bit more. You can laugh a little bit longer, but at the end of the day, you got to boss up. At the end of the day, you got to put your big girl panties on and figure out how you're going to make your next move your best move. Because me crying about it is not going to get my coins back. Me talking about it or whining about it or complaining about it or phoning a friend to cry about it is not going to help me get my funds back. So I had to boss up. I had to decide right then and there that no dollar amount is going to take me out, right? No dollar amount is going to take me out, but I'm also going to be much smarter with who I surround myself with as I grow to be more successful, right? You can't boss up with a bum. You just can't. It's literally impossible. And it's impossible because trying to boss up with a bum will literally have you feeling like you are crazy, have you feeling like you are doing too much because they can't do enough, because they aren't doing enough. They will make you feel like you aren't doing, you're doing too much, right? Your ideas are too big. And so this experience, although it was a traumatic one, I would not change it for the world, because the hustle that I have in me now, the fire that lit under me, I couldn't have purchased that, right? I could not have inspired myself to that level to get out and get it, right? And so dating someone, sleeping next to someone who could literally steal from you, who could literally, hurt you in your most vulnerable place, will really, truly encourage you to learn your worth. Because what type of person was this? What type of character did he have to do something like this? And the fact that I let him get that close up on me to be in a position to even be able to do something like this was a reflection of how I felt about myself. And so I had to check myself before I started checking my surroundings. All right. I had to recognize my role in it. I had to figure out how I ended up in the position to even let somebody in, let somebody get that close where I didn't even see the signs. Because our intuition is a mother, right? There's always signs, red flags coming up in all directions. But it's literally up to us to not just see those signs, but actually act on them. And so that situation definitely taught me to check myself as well as my surroundings, right? Because these bums, and I'm going to define what bums are. Bums are bitter and they're usually broke. And by broke, I don't just mean financially. Their mindset might be broke, right? A broken mindset is worse than not having any money. A broken mindset means you probably never going to have any money. And if you do get some, you're not going to be able to keep it because your mindset is so messed up. So a bum is bitter and usually broke. They're uninspired and they're miserable. They're so miserable that they're going to do whatever they can do to make sure you are miserable too. And if your eyes were open, if you are awake and paying attention, then you know that that was an acronym for the word bum. Because I am a teacher, I can't help it, y'all. So a bum is someone who is bitter and usually broke, uninspired, and miserable. All right? You got to stay away from bums. You cannot boss up with bums because they will literally talk you out of your big idea because they are too small-minded to fathom your vision. I like to say that they are nearsighted. Sometimes the things that we see in our imagination, nobody else can see them. Nobody else realizes that they're real. But that's because we are visionaries, right? We are farsighted. We can see into the future. These bums are nearsighted. They can only see what's in front of them. And sometimes they can't even see that. Bums will literally suck the energy out of you with their negativity. All of their issues, all of their baggage, they always want to bring that bullshit to your doorstep. Clear sign that you're dealing with a bum. They always have something to complain about. They're never having a good day. Have you ever met somebody that just ain't never happy? Like even on their birthday, they got a bad attitude. They're going to find something to be mad about. Clear, what's the word I'm looking for? Clear indicator that you are dealing with a bum. If they're always negative, always got bad energy. Bums will have you stuck and stressed out simply because they're complacent. So again, bums are usually miserable. And because they're miserable, They want you to be miserable too. That whole misery loves company thing is really real, okay? And so because they are complacent, because they are satisfied with where they are in life, even though they are nowhere, they're going to try to get you to stay stuck. They're going to try to keep you stressed out because of their own circumstances. Bums will have you questioning yourself based on their own limiting beliefs, right? Because they feel like they can't do this, because they feel like they're not blessed, because they feel like they aren't gifted, because they feel like God doesn't have anything for them, they're going to try to convince you that God doesn't have anything for you. And if they can't convince you that God doesn't have anything for you, they're going to try to take from you what God has for you. And so you have to be so focused. You have to make sure your eyes are on your prize at all times, but not just on your prize. You got to make sure your eyes are on your purpose. Because if you keep your eyes on your purpose, you will not allow a bum to distract you. That clown would not have been able to get me off my square if I would have been focused. But because I had those blinders on, because I was dating somebody who I thought was my friend, and I let my guard down too soon, he knocked me off my block, right? And that will happen every single time that you are focused. So you got to keep your eyes on your own prize. You got to keep your eyes on your own purpose, because a bum will absolutely have you questioning yourself based on their beliefs, based on their limiting beliefs, based on what they don't think they're worthy of, based on what they don't believe that they are capable of. And then when you do start to believe that you can have what God guarantees for you, they're going to try to take what you have because they can't earn it on their own. You can't start that business, right? They're going to tell you, all of the things that you can't do based on the things that they haven't done, right? So they can't tell you that you can't start that business if they've never built anything. They can't do it. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes they will try to convince you that you're not ready to take that leap of faith because of their lack of faith. So they don't trust in God. They've never seen God working in their life. And so they're going to try to convince you that God doesn't exist. You cannot convince a person who's seen God working in real life, in their life, that he doesn't exist. But a bum will try to do it every single time. And so I got some types of bums, a few types of bums that I've dealt with in the past, a few types of bums that you might be dealing with that you may not even realize that you're dealing with the bum. Some of the types of bums that you gotta stay away from. You gotta stay away from the fake friend bum. The fake friend bum is like your homegirl. You call her your homegirl, but she really a hater. Like, she always throwing shade. She doesn't support. She likes your stuff, right, on Instagram, on social media. She might share your post on Facebook, but she ain't ever actually been to your website and purchased something. She's never actually supported you in a real way, and she does not deserve your time. The fake friend bum does not deserve your time. If you pay close enough attention, you'll start to see that fake friend bum is really shady. She really doesn't have your best interest at heart. She really isn't happy for your successes. She's really not cheering you on. So you got to stay away from the fake friend bum. You also got to stay away from the bum disguised as bae. Let me tell y'all again from my personal experience, sometimes your biggest hater is sleeping beside you. And so you got to beware of the guy who wants it all but has nothing, who has all these ideas. He want to bring you all these business ideas to the table, but he don't have no check to invest. Those are the bums that you got to stay away from. You got to stay away from bae who want to flip your income tax check. It's tax season, girls. All right. Stay away from the guy who tells you he can flip that check. If he could flip your check, he could have flipped his check last year. All right. Ain't no checks getting flipped. That check is going to flop and he's going to run off with your coins. So stay away from the bum that's disguised as bae. Another bum you got to stay away from is the family bum. The family member who's fake interested. She just want to be all up in your business. I know one of y'all got that family member who always calling, asking you a bunch of questions, right? For no reason, just because they being nosy. Your business don't have nothing to do with them. but they want to know what you got going on because they don't have nothing going on. And they're going to try to convince you that your ideas are not big enough, they're not good enough, you're not ready, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough energy, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough expertise, you don't have enough followers, you don't have enough funds. Sometimes the biggest haters can be the people that are closest to us, the people who we don't expect to be haters. Now, I'm not saying that this cousin of mine is a bum, just in case one of my other cousins happens to be listening to this episode, but my family has a group chat, right? And one of my cousins, I'm not the single cousin no more because I got a man now. But before I had this man, I was the single cousin. I'm known as the single cousin, not just because I don't ever have no man, but because I'm also the only cousin with no kids, right? So because I'm that cousin, people try me. Y'all know people try the single cousin, and people try the cousin that don't have any kids because they think they know everything, right? And so one of my cousins, who again, I'm not saying she's a bum, but she did some bum shit. So she decided one day to post in the group chat this article, a link to an article, an interview with Tracee Ellis Ross. And Tracee Ellis Ross was talking about how, people always want to know why she's single and, how she's happy and, she's successful and she's living a great life and she doesn't need a man and she doesn't need kids and X, Y, Z. And in the comment, when she sent this link, she said, Coco, you're going to be okay. You just like Tracee Ellis Ross. Excuse me? I'm sorry, what? The nerve of you to assume that because a 32-year-old woman is single without children, she's going to be that way for the rest of her life. The nerve of you. Don't start putting your limiting beliefs off on me. Don't start trying to predict my future based on, what you see other people doing or based on what you think I'm going to be okay with. Y'all, I had to leave that group chat. I literally left that group chat and I've probably been back like one time since because it took everything in me not to curse this cousin out, but it's little sneaky, shady stuff like that comes from people who you don't expect it to come from. And y'all may not think that's a big deal, but she knew she was being shady. So she knew what she was doing. But sometimes it's the family member who's fake interested, who's fake concerned, who, pretends like they want to know what you got going on, want to support you, want to ask a bunch of questions, but they really just nosy. They ain't got nothing better to do. They just ain't your business. You can't build with bums, even if the bum happens to be your sister, your cousin, your brother, your mama. You can't build with bums. And when God has a calling on your life, you're not going to be able to sit around and be cool with everybody. When there's a calling on your life, you can't be cool with everybody. All right? The other type of bum you got to stay away from is the complacent and complaining coworker bum. I know y'all got a coworker bum. Either you got one now or you had one before. We've all had that coworker bum who don't have nothing good to say, nothing positive to talk about. It seems like all she does is watch TV because that's the only thing she ever has to discuss is what happened on reality TV. And her negative energy literally jumps off of her and lands on you every time you spend more than 60 seconds with them. And so you got to stay away from that complaining and complacent coworker bum because that's going to affect your mood. That's going to affect your energy. You may think that you can be cool with the negative homegirl, but eventually that negativity is going to rub off on you. Eventually that negativity is going to seep into your subconscious and make you feel some type of way, make you start thinking some type of way. And then the other bum, the last bum that you got to stay away from is your own bum ass attitude, your own bum ass mentality. Some of us are sabotaging ourselves. Some of us don't need to check our circle. We just need to check ourselves because we're literally sabotaging our own success. We're doubting ourselves so much that we are literally deterring ourselves from our dreams. I truly, truly believe that faith creates opportunities and fear creates obstacles. So sometimes our lack of faith is literally turning into fear. And that fear is literally creating obstacles, literally putting up brick walls in your own path based on what you believe that you are worth, based on your own limiting beliefs, based on what you believe you deserve. Based on what you've experienced in the past, you're letting that negative past experience dictate your future experience. So sometimes you are the bum. Sometimes you got to get out of your own way. All right? Again, you were put here to do something special. You were not born to be a bum. You were not born to spend your time with bums. Your energy is too special for bums. Your dreams, your hopes, your goals are too big for bums. And as long as you are surrounding yourself with bums, as long as you are telling your business to bums, as long as you are letting bums be a part of your business, you're going to find yourself stressed out and struggling. And so to end this episode, I want to let you know how you can spot a bum, just in case you don't identify with the fake friend bum or the bae bum or the family member bum. Here's how you can spot a bum. A bum is always scheming and scamming. They always trying to take the shortcut. They never want to work for it. They always being lazy. A bum always loves to complain and gossip. They have nothing good to talk about, nothing positive to say about anything or anybody. They always got the latest and greatest in somebody else's business because they ain't got no business of their own. A bum never wants to do anything productive. All they want to do is hang out. They think you're crazy because you want to invest in your business. They think you're crazy because partying is not a priority anymore. Being productive is your priority, and they think that's crazy. A bum is only concerned with materialistic things. They're so easily impressed by all of the materialistic things. Their outward appearance is cool, but you know that they ain't shit on the inside. That's a bum. A bum never has anything to offer but time. And ladies, this is a big one, because a lot of us are dating bums because they do have time. But if you really stop and think, you'll see that is literally all they're bringing to the table is their free time. And they have all that time because they have no money. All right, that's a bum. You can also spot a bum when you run into somebody that has tons of ideas. There are tons of things that they want to talk about, things that they're going to do, but no implementation, no execution. They are all talk and no action. Always got ideas. A bum is somebody who belittles your ideas and your dreams, tries to convince you that you can't do it, tries to tell you that you're not ready. Nobody's going to listen. Nobody wants that. Who do you think you are to be doing X, Y, and Z? Yep, you're dealing with a bum. If they're small-minded or they have no vision, they're a bum. If they are settling in life, in any area of their life, they are a bum. If they don't want to do better and they don't want you to do better because you might end up doing better than them, yes, you're right, that is a bum. And I want to remind you today that your destiny, what you were called to do, the calling on your life, is way too great to be communing with clowns. If you spend your time with nothing but clowns, eventually you are going to end up as part of the circus. You heard it here first. I'm telling y'all from personal experience, it ain't nothing worse than trying to build with a bum. It's just impossible. It ain't going to happen. I hope that you are feeling empowered, inspired, and encouraged to get that ass to work. You already have everything you need to get everything you want if you are willing to do what it takes. I love you. I'll see you this November at Work, Pray, Slay. See you next week.